Hi everyone. So for this week, I will not be able to make it to the second Zoom meeting. So I was looking at the alternative assignment, which is to make a concept map. And I read the not read well, I read the podcast and I listened to the podcast as well about Brazil. And I made a concept map, so this is kind of what it looks like right here. My main topic point is racism, because they were talking about the whites versus the blacks and the standards that they have for people. So I went with racism, as that leads to the blacks and whites. And then over here is also defined as unfair treatment of people. And then between the blacks versus the whites and unfair treatment, I said there's an issue. Like, this has been happening since the beginning of time. Like, it's nothing new. Slavery, segregation, it's all been happening since the beginning of like mankind. Going over off racism, I said the government being concerned about appearances, because they kept saying, oh, we don't want people to judge you if you're at work. We don't want people to do this or that. And like, they were determining whether or not if people were, quote, black enough to get the job. So they're really concerned about that. So I said that because of that, it would lead to peace or violence. Like, it's going to be one of the two. And with blacks and whites and the unfair treatment of people, that would lead towards the social standards between the peace and violence and black people and white people. Um, and then going down for here, I said that it's also called Pardo. It's a lot of Brazilians don't say they're black or say they're white. They say they're a mixed race, so they use the word Pardo. And I also said blacks and whites also develop segregation, because if you have unfair treatment and social standards of peace or violence, it's going to lead to segregation. And then going off of that, I said it would lead to a mutual racial diversity. There's going to be a divide among the people where you're either light or you're dark or you identify as Pardo, but it's all divided among the races. So it'd be and I say it's mutual because the citizens know it's happening there and they aren't complaining. They're not doing anything. So it's like a mutual agreement type of thing. Going up here, when I said unfair treatment of people, I would say that leads to a potential revolution. Lead to, um, people who identify as Pardo saying, you know what, we're gonna overthrow the government. We're gonna try to change it. Like, it's if you treat people unfairly for so long, this could happen potentially. And I said because of the potential revolution and the intensity of it, it could cause intense living conditions. However, if the Pardos are okay with unfair treatment being brought by the government, then you would just like disregard this completely. And I said that they would be living in harmony, and the living in harmony and um, the living in harmony and the intense living conditions would actually branch off and go right here. Um, and that would be government standards. These government standards would then wrap back around to the mutual racial diversity. Going up here, with the government being concerned about the appearances of peace or violence, I said that the peace and violence has major influence on the society of people. And then with the influence comes power. So this kind of all branches off together. And then once again, you could take power and you could go to link that all the way to mutual racial diversity. So you start from racism and this all comes down and connects. So I will leave it right here so you can pause the video or read it or anything like that. And yeah, here's my assignment.